we're sitting here in Berlin. Jason, Kurt, and Tim, who are all together the Brew, and they've just released a third record called The Third Floor. They're about to be touring here in Germany and also the rest of Europe. So first of all, welcome. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Great pleasure.
To Berlin.
Yeah. So why don't you start out telling us a little bit about this record, how it came to pass that you recorded it, and how you wrote the songs, assuming you had time for that because you've been very busy touring.
Well, pretty much every single one of those tunes on the album have been written while we were on tour. And the title track, The Third Floor, is literally describing, a hotel room, because when we're on the road we are always staying on the third floor. And it was just but basically the song sort of tells you about the ups and downs of being on the road and everything.
That's kind of the concept of the album as well. I mean, like Jay said, it was written on the road, and that's very much the feel of the album. And it's like a collaboration of sort of, because it was 2 years since Million Dead Stars, so it's almost 2 years of writing songs here and there when we got a chance, in the bus or in a gig or whatever, and we finally had enough material for an album and decided to go into the studio.
Well, we had the time to go into the studio. We had a 3-week time slot that allowed us the luxury of going into the studio and in between tours.
We did gigs in between recording.
We was actually doing festivals in between recording. I mean, it's crazy. But it seems to work for us that we write on the road. In fact, we just released his album. We was talking on the way down here to Berlin that we've all got ideas for new tracks already, just through little things which happen around us, and it's crazy. But it takes time to get it all together, and that's basically how the album came about.
How do you test out your tracks live? Like, do you play them once or twice to see whether they work? And then
well, a lot of them started when we write a song, we sort of come up with a riff or whatever, and then we sort of jam it out on stage. The the audience don't realise that we're play testing it with them. We just play a riff and gauge the audience's reaction.
I don't even realise we're doing that.
Wow. We just sort of go into it.
Is that how we do it?
Tim plays tunes.
I play jazz.
And then that's...
I don't play tunes, I play jazz.
This is jazz! It's and then we sort of gauge the reaction of the audience, and then we sort of think, we take it from there, each individual member just sticks their own little input into it, and it becomes a song.
Right. How many songs do you produce as a ratio to how many songs you record in the end?
Well, we had
it's pretty much everything that we
recorded.
Yeah, we recorded. Yeah. I mean, there were a few bits change quite drastically. I mean, the song on The Third Floor, Hard Times, that started out as quite a heavy, rocky tune, and then it ended up as a...
Hard Times, we must have spent 6 months going through every combination
to try and play for
how this song is going to work, and eventually we got to the studio and Chris West, the producer, who knows the band inside out, he said, look, have you considered doing it on an acoustic guitar in a different tuning? And we just went, well, no, we haven't, and we tried it.
So
it just worked. And we'd spent 6 months trying.
Same as Sirens of
different
War.
tempos. Yeah, I mean, Sirens of War was almost thrown away.
Yeah.
That song was we just hated it, but it was just not in the same shape as it is now. And when we broke it down and looked at it, and it's come out as one of the strongest tracks on the album, and it's just like, well, it's just crazy, Sometimes you can't, as we say, you can't see the wood for the trees.
Floating up to the sky, angels high, devils fly, pounding to this mental heart, catch your breath, let him fly. Darkness descends when the numbers increase by one. My, oh my, it's reached the sky. My, oh my, it's reached the...
That's a good question to you. I think there are a lot of young men outside who want to be like you, playing in a band, getting the audience mad, playing the wild drum solos and stuff like that. But I tell you, no one of these little dreamers would dream, and I would like to have my daddy with me on stage. How does it feel?
Oh.
He dreams that as well.
No, I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, me and my dad started the band together, you know, all those years ago, and it's always been that way. And you know, when we're on the road on tour together, we're just, you know, we're good friends, and we've got a good relationship. And
No, we haven't.
you know, we hardly ever argue or bicker. No, sometimes.
No, we don't. Bullshit. No, we don't. No, we don't.
But like,
People,
you know, we have a good relationship, and you know, we work well on stage together, and so it works. You know, there's never really been a problem with it. So.
Jason just stays out of all the family arguments.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
As a
it.
middleman, I'm just sort of
We
like,
argue a lot,
just let
right?
it
But
get
it's
on
all
with it.
family stuff, and Jason just puts his headphones on.
It's
and
mainly who's
turns the
right
music
or
up.
who's wrong, and they won't stop because none of them will admit that they're right or wrong.
And as every father knows, the father's always right.
So, but it's not like, Father, you will go to bed and pass the gig now.
He tells me
No
that.
ladies tonight, Curtis.
He tells me that.
There's
It's
the boy.
usually the other way around.
They have
I'm
to
usually
look after
telling
me,
him
I
to
mean.
go to bed, looking after him.
It's a good laugh.
Jason, how old are you now?
22 Jahre.
22 Jahre.
Yeah, 22.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 22 in June. Getting old.
22 and playing such a guitar. It's amazing. When you started, how did you found together?
Well, it's pretty crazy, really. Like I was 15 and when I joined these guys, and Kurt, you were 16, weren't you?
Yeah.
They all just going to college, and
I was 18.
Tim was 24 then, wasn't you, mate?
Just aged
Oh,
a
yeah.
bit faster than the rest of us.
I had a rough paper round.
That's what managerial jobs do for you. Makes you look like that.
Yeah, basically, I heard about the guys, you know, around the town, because before me they had another guitarist, and they were, you know, I had a lot of older friends who
He
were
was
heavily
great. He was
into
great. He could play
music,
the decal and
like, you
everything,
know,
Joe.
heavily into music, and I was just like, well, I want to see this band, but of course I wasn't old enough, you know. You have to be 18 to go see the gigs anyway. So of course he was like nearly 20. He was like, "You've got to come see them, man. They're doing all the G Page, the crazy, you know, guitar, Hendrix style, everything, man. It's right down your street." But at the time I was like, oh, you know, nice one, lucky sod, because I was sort of trapped in like a blues warp. I was just playing blues, and you know, you need to, as a young guy, you want to get out of it, you know. I don't know. And I just wanted more rock, and it was to cut a long story short, I got a phone call.
Please do.
And and basically it was just like, oh, there's a band called, because they were called Strange Brew. There's a band called Strange Brew where looking for a new guitarist, and put your name to recommend. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I've got to go for an audition. And well, I rang him up and said, you know, could I come down and play for you, like have an audition, you know, and everything. And got up there and I was like, right, you know, try and, you know, do my best to play, you know, do all the shit, you know, if I play behind my head and stuff, you know, I'll get in. And Tim just said, oh, when you start touring in October or November. I was like, what?
I'd seen him playing in 14 when I first saw Jason playing, and it was pretty impressive. And we just said, well, if we can get, my wife actually said, if we can get Jason and Kurt together, wouldn't that be a great thing? And so when he came for the interview, we actually cancelled all the other people who were due to come for the interview and just left it. We didn't bother telling him. We just wanted to play with the guys. we just jammed for an hour, and he'd already got the job.
I was just like, man, yeah, he was in before he started playing. I was like, what?
I'm going to let you know if you've got the job soon, Joe.
Yeah, I'm still on trial now.
We've never actually told him he's got the job.
4 albums, 5 albums, or whatever down the line. Yeah, next album, you're sacked.
Like him, when I first saw you on YouTube, I saw all these guys could be right out of the 60s, early
Yeah.
70s. And I think
The sky, yeah. Serpents in the sandwich chair. The clock's a tick inside his head, pounding to his mental heart. His children crawling through the heart. Darkness descends when the numbers increase by one. My, oh my.
You know, they came from a time machine.
Yeah, it's.
I think it's very cool because, for me, in my opinion, it's much better than all these modern tattooed, screaming.
Well, it's each to their own, you know. It's each to their own. It's each to their own thing. I mean, we do what we do. I mean, we try to bring a modern influence to it. The guy's obviously going to bring a modern influence to it, but obviously heavily rooted in the 60s and 70s style, and obviously I am. And you know, it's the whole combination of the mix of the music which makes us, I wouldn't say it's not unique, but it gives us our particular feel. You know, we've got elements of Pink Floyd in the new album, Zeppelin, but then there's elements of the Wolfmother, there's elements of the Raconteurs in the new album. People hear different things, which is a good thing. So, you know, I mean, people always, with any style of music nowadays, people always make some comparison to something in the past, because I think it's inevitable. It's very, very difficult to find something totally unique in music nowadays, and so you're always going to get a comparison made. And with us, it happens to be this style of music, which we're quite comfortable with. You know, it
could be worse.
It could be worse.
Spice Girls or something.
So, you know, we're down with that. I mean, it's pretty good. So, it's just where we are and where we want to be.
Yeah.
Speechless sky. My, oh my, speechless sky. Yeah. Darkness descends.